Yeah, because funny enough, I was at an Infinigate event yesterday in the UK, and WatchGuard were there, and it's a question I want to ask you, the same sort of question really, because monthly billing is a big driver for businesses globally as they look to adopt to a sort of a subscription economy. How have you found the development of the OneView MSP business for Malwarebytes? Because that was something I asked WatchGuard yesterday, and I'm interested to get your view on how it's gone for you, the OneView business.
It's huge for us. I think in many ways it's the future of the company. If those that are not familiar that are listening to this show about OneView is our MSP product. It's custom built. It's tailored for MSPs. It has site-to-site or parent-child relationships so that you, in a single pane of glass, can manage all of your customers, and it's infinitely scalable. But you talked specifically regarding UBB or usage-based billing or monthly billing, and that have taken off particularly in recent years for MSPs, where they're starting to bundle, right? They're starting to bundle and they're starting to invoice their end users with with bundled offerings and build almost like a utility. Uniquely with Malwarebytes, we actually have the ability to do both today. So not only if you partner with a vendor, which if you have a direct relationship with us, we do usage-based billing, meaning we'll send you an invoice on a monthly basis as opposed to a 1, 2, or 3 year upfront contract. But also we've signed with lots of distributors, right? Pax8 was launched just 4 weeks ago for us, which is incredibly exciting news. And as everyone knows, Pax8 does monthly billing, but there's also tons of marketplaces, and Atera does this, Kaseya does this. All of the RMMs and marketplaces usually have a solution for this. But yeah, I mean, it's been huge for us. I think it's been one of the reasons why we've been growing so fast.
And with cyber and the channel becoming an attractive place for employment, Brian, how are you addressing the enablement needs of your partners, i.e. training them? How are you doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So really, I think two things that we're in particular focused on because we're looking at not only enablement, but scaling, right? Doing this at scale. One thing that we did mid last year was we partnered with InPartner, which is our PRM platform or our partner portal, right? And we've been hell bent on getting all of our certifications, right, in that partner portal, so it's instantly available to all of our MSPs, our VARs, our DMRs, our distributors, etc. And then what we've done very recently is now you'll see us as almost a zone defense. You'll see Malwarebytes just about at every single trade show there is, from ConnectWise to Kaseya to Pax8 to SureWeb, doesn't really matter, throughout the globe. You'll see us there now. And what we do is we try to make sure that we have a speaking slot if we're ever going to be sponsoring anything. And that helps ensure that we get the training in with the people that are interested at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, because one thing I noticed, there was a lot of growth buzz and channel buzz around and PR around what's happening about Malwarebytes. What is the channel strategy for the business?
Yeah. So this is a great question. So over the last 12 months, what I can definitively say, and it's very exciting for our company, is that Malwarebytes has found its identity. Right? It's huge thing for our company. What we've decided to do, and it's been all over the PR, is that we know where we win, and where we win is SMB and MSP. So our entire go-to-market strategy from our CEO on down is doubling down on those two vectors and those two markets, right, that we win in. When you're looking for things like single pane of glass management, right? When you're looking at a diversity of modules and add-ons that are simplified, right? We win in that SMB and MSP space. And I think it's what's happened over the last 12 months that's resulted in a lot of buzz is now you see, distributors launching with us almost every other week. You see all of this PR that's going on. I think we've launched upwards of 27 marketplaces and distributors over the last just year and a half. And I think all of that is a very purposeful result. But when you're looking at, when you're looking at all of the reports on Malwarebytes and we're looking at out of the box efficacy, that's where we win, right? That's where we win, the easy button for cybersecurity. And so, yeah, we've been doubling down on that quite a bit over the last year. And that's why you're seeing so much on the headlines. It's very exciting for us.
And from my understanding then, so are you quite selective about the partners you deal with? Because if you're playing in that SME or SMB space, are you fussy about who's going to be partnering with Malwarebytes, or how do you decide who you partner with?
Yeah. I think we take a very holistic approach with our strategy, especially at the distribution realm, because we never want to get into a place where we're being overly distributed. So we have a list of marketplace distributors, and then the names that everyone knows, like Tech Data, Cynics, and Ingram Micro. But what we're doing uniquely, particularly on the MSP side of the house, is that we're actually we're integrating within the marketplace itself. So as opposed to being like broadline distribution, Cynics and Ingram, we're actually going to be in Ingram Cloud Blue or Cynics Stellar or the Pax8 marketplace, right? So we have actually an integration through our provisioning API that's through OneView that's making it frictionless. So we're not going through just here's your SKUs, here's your 1, 2, and 3 year. This is actually by usage, by marketplace, and completely hands off. So just in a few clicks, you can provision your own instance of OneView and be off to the races.
And Brian, when people go through distribution or vendors go through distribution, they still obviously want that relationship with the partners. What makes a great partnership between a vendor and a partner, in your opinion?
I think it's the ability to jointly understand that we have the same strategy, right? When we're talking about SMB, MSPs, right? MSPs that are just focused on that market in particular, one of the big things that they struggle with that Malwarebytes helps them with is we've released a variety, right? A diversity of add-ons and modules that they can start packaging in, because our job ultimately is the same as the distributors, and that's where we hold hands. That's really where the partnership begins and ends. Well, what we're saying is the things that are important to us are things like cross-selling, things like upselling, things like retention, and things like growth of the account long-term. And those are the 4 things, right, that we look at a distributor and say, all right, well, we don't have just EDR, EP, and IR. Those aren't just our core products anymore. We've got mobile security. We've got vulnerability and patch management. We've got DNS filtering, app blocker, et cetera, et cetera. So it makes it obviously more exciting for the MSP long-term because we're future-proofing how they're selling to their customers. They want to be able to bundle that to their customers, right? I think that's where we have a real tight-knit partnership with our distribution.
Yeah, absolutely. And in 2023, we've already touched maybe where Malwarebytes wins and where they lose. But in 2023, where do you see the biggest opportunity is for Malwarebytes?
I would say 2023. This has been the company mission since our SKO. Very candidly, growth at scale. Growth at scale. That's going to be the big opportunity for us. Now that we've adopted over the past 12 months, as we just discussed, this channel first philosophy, right? Which is, I think, incredibly new for Malwarebytes within the last year. MSPs, VARs, DMRs, service providers, telcos, ISPs, marketplaces, distributors, you fill in the blank, right? If you're a 2-tier entity and you're selling into MSPs or a reseller, we're looking to partner with you in just about every geography and zip code. And I think, a lot of people have responded very favorably to that, particularly within the channel, because as you know, it's probably the reason we're on this podcast is the name recognition and the brand equity, right, of Malwarebytes is incredibly well known. When you say the word Malwarebytes, I mean, if I'm wearing a Malwarebytes t-shirt in the airport, I'm stopped usually 3 to 4 times, right? And usually it's the guy tapping me on the shoulder saying, you saved me. You saved me 4 years ago with your remediation free scanner. I had no idea that you had a business protection suite. I had no idea that you had OneView. I had no idea, how the company has matured over the last 7 to 10 years. And that's the story that I really like telling.